up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. Cry myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody gonna die today. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Gonna be a good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Be a good day. It's beautiful. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all.
Hello, how you guys doing? Good morning and happy Wednesday. Thank you guys for joining us today. It's amazing to get to spend some time with you. And remember, today is Agent Workshops. And Megan reminded me we have a spectacular Agent Workshop today. We have Kelly Milligan is going to be joining us from Chicago Title. So he's a kind of a big deal there. He gives an economic outlook on what he sees going on in the future. And I highly recommend that you spend some time there learning from Kelly. Anytime that I hear him speak, I'm always like, wow, that guy's, at the very least, an amazing speaker. And then he's pretty much like always right on his facts. He's going to reference like the Case-Shiller Index probably 16 times per minute. No, I mean just total overall in his whole speech. And he's a really, really good speaker. So just tune in there and you'll enjoy it. He's very smart. He's been doing this for a long time. You guys will be very impressed. And so thank you to Kelly Milligan of Chicago Title for helping us out there. And we also have Cody is going to be joining us from Chicago Title. He's going to be, talking about some stuff. Let's leave it at that. He's also good. Just he's a really good guy, right? But he's like not Kelly. So that's going to be a tough bar to kind of live up to. So Cody, best of luck. I hope you go first instead of having Kelly go first and then you're second, because that's just like a tough act to follow. So thank you to Megan for setting that up. We are going to have that on Zoom meeting with Stacey.com. Megan's going to be launching that for us directly at 10 o'clock. So please be there. Thank you, guys. And let's see, topics for today are going to be, will owners be taxed out of their homes? Question mark. Kind of think a lot of that's going to actually happen. It's like a real thing. We'll discuss that. And then NAR, there's a lawsuit against them, including a couple other brokerages, and it has now gained class action status. So I don't like talking about lawsuits, but like whatever, I'll go ahead and discuss it with you because it is going to be in the news, and it is something that you could discuss with your clients. If they bring it up. Maybe it's not like the first thing to lead with, like, hey, have you heard realtors are getting sued? Maybe not, but at least you'll know kind of what's going on behind the scenes. And then when you follow the logic, you'll be like, wow, this is like really head scratching on what's going on here. So that's what we got for today. Those are the two topics. And without further ado, Omkar, let's get to it. Go ahead. I'll find the bell. Will owners be taxed out of their homes? What? I don't know. Could it happen? Property taxes are going up. The statements came out. They're in your mail. You received them. You looked at them and you like either had to put on glasses to like double check and see what's going on. You know, Aaron Rodgers has a discount double check where he checks your insurance just to make sure that you have the best insurance possible. So you have like the property tax double check where you're like, whoa, I need to put something on here to make sure that's the right number. I'm going to be paying that much, huh? Interesting. So you'll be getting a lot of calls and discussions about that. And will people actually be taxed out of their home? Think about that one, right? With all these things that are going on, and we have inflation going up and it's like through the roof, and how much is it going to go up next year? 20%, I say. Yep, 20% is my number that I think inflation is going to go up year over year over the next 12 months. I think we'll be up 20% with everything considered, which is a lot. And I think homes are going to go up by that same amount. And then all of a sudden we'll be totally scratching our heads. And we're like, wow, that's really crazy. So are the people going to be taxed out of their homes? I'm not sure, right? So how much money does the local government really need to run? I don't think they really need any more than they currently have. So then they have to keep the actual amount that they tax you the same, plus inflation, right? And they should all be good. And hopefully that's exactly what does take place, that your actual amount you pay to them over time doesn't double. If your property taxes go up in value, or your property goes up in value and your property doubles over, a short period of time, what in the heck would the government do with twice as much money, right? So I think what they're going to probably end up doing is changing the millage rate, giving a larger deduction, having maybe more investors pay for it as secondary property owners, hopefully help out the people that actually live in their own home, and raise the minimum cap for homestead exemption and raise that considerably, because there's no protections for investors as secondary homes. So what that ends up meaning is that investment properties are going to be really, really taxed. There's not like a cap it can go up. There's not like deductions for it. And then when that tax rate goes up, you're going to see rental rates skyrocket. And then we'll have a problem there. So we'll figure that one out when we get there. But yeah, I see inflation going up dramatically, and as well as tax inflation. So when your property goes up in value and you're taxed more, then that also is a component, right? Like the increased tax is also a self-fulfilling prophecy that adds to the inflationary index. So now you're paying more for, and it just like continues on. So I don't know when like somebody hits the brake and this inflation stops, but I don't know that it's happening anytime soon. So my prognostication is 20% inflation for the next year. 1 year from today, we'll be up another 20% from where we're at. And that does cause a whole host of challenges, and I do hope that we come up with some property tax reform because it's just not going to work. People's property taxes going up by so much. I did get a message the other day from Dr. Blake Bennett of Texas A&M. He's been a guest with us here multiple times, and he's a very smart man, and he did confirm for us that people who own their property can file a homestead exemption as of the first of the year after they purchase the property. So then they file this homestead exemption. But then your property cannot go up in value by more than 10% once you file your homestead exemption. Okay, so what does that really mean? So what that means is if you purchased property today, okay, and then you file your homestead exemption on the first of next year, your property taxes can actually go up by any amount between now and next year, right? And then once you file your homestead exemption, then it can only go up by 10%. So anytime between now and the first of the year, it's like unlimited appreciation as far as whatever goes on for your homestead. So you're not limited by any type of cap. And he made sure that he reminded me to that fact. He did call up the Colin CAD and confirm that exact information. I do have it in an email correspondence if anyone needs it and is questioning me and you're like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. And I would say that it actually is. Anyways, yeah, I think things are out of control. Let's get some taxes down. Let's lower them. Just like lower everything. NAR, there's a lawsuit against you, and it just gained class action status. So I do have the article. I'm going to reference that, and we're going to just discuss around this topic. In the event that any of your clients start to ask you about it, or you're concerned about like where's the future, what's going on, and I'll talk down some of these like rabbit holes of what could kind of happen with this whole thing, and they're coming after your commissions in this situation, but not like actually you, but like maybe you. I don't really know what's going on. So let's go ahead and share the screen here, and we'll reference this article and drop it in for you. So is your brain exploding? Agents, brokers, they were all torn over this whole thing. So what's going on? If we scroll down through the article, and I'll let Omcar control that and scroll through as I discuss it. What's basically going on here is there's commissions. There's a buyer and a seller, and then we have the buyer's agent and the seller's agent on both sides, right? And there's a commission paid out in a typical situation. So I'm not going to discuss the exact commissions or any of those things and have any violations here. But essentially what happens is when you do a listing, you agree with the seller on what's going to happen with the commissions. That there's going to be X commission offered to the listing agent and X commission offered to the selling agent. And you fill it in. It could be a whole number, it could be a percentage, could be like whatever these numbers are, you fill them in. There's blanks for everything. And it's agreed to contractually, right? And you say this person is going to represent them and this person is going to represent them, and here's how this is going to go. There's all these boxes, and you check these boxes and agree to what's going on. So the listing agent does that and inputs the data into MLS. So what this lawsuit is claiming is that they should be able to go back and, because the buyer paid an artificially high price for the home, in their claim is the buyer paid an artificially high price for all properties over the last, I think, 8 years, because the commissions are being paid by the seller and not by the buyer. And with doing that, what happens is the prices are allegedly higher, and they want all of the commission that was paid to the buyer's agents, all of it over the last 8 years, to be paid back to the buyer. So it's a class action lawsuit asking for all that commission money back over the last 8 years. Now that would be like a crazy high number, right? Imagine all the buyer agent commissions over an 8-year time frame. And then how do they get that money back, and like how and why? Because there's already like an agreement contractually that said the seller is going to pay this commission and here's how. And they entered into it and signed it all independently. And so this really goes down these weird rabbit holes, because if they let this actually happen and they sue, well, I mean, honestly, right? Like, think about this. Over the last 8 years, do you have 100% of all the money that you earned sitting in a bank account that, like, oh man, I thought I might get sued someday. I'm gonna just pay that all out. So, like, nobody has that money, right? So, fundamentally, what are they trying to go after and how that works? So, then if you're found liable, and like there's this class action lawsuit against all buyer's agents, that the house is too high and like you have to pay this money back, well, then you would go after and sue the seller, right? And then the seller would, it's just like this rabbit hole of like who sues who and like who tries to get this money back. And then you would sue, the seller would sue the bank because the bank over, like this whole thing just goes in this circle of what's going on. And then do they really want all of the buyers to go unrepresented? Because essentially what they're trying to say is that the person was represented and paid by the wrong party. So they actually want everyone to be on the seller side and the buyers to be unrepresented in these transactions, which kind of goes against like all agency rules and what should really happen in this buyer's agent situation. And then all of a sudden you'll have all this discrimination because certain people won't be able to pay this money for a buyer agent commission, and there's gonna be all types of problems. So anyways, I reference this article for you, and that's put in the chat, and you'll be able to look at this article yourself and review it. But it is something you should kind of stay on top of to see what's going on. And I eventually think that it's gonna go away and nothing's gonna happen from it. Everyone's always trying to change the way things are going on, but like there's already been a contract agreed to. It was all signed off by every party involved, and everyone knew the representation they were getting. So going backwards and suing, maybe going forwards, should we change the rules? But I don't think that anyone wants buyers unrepresented, right? I don't think they're thinking that that's in anyone's best interest, because then all of a sudden you have people that are making decisions on a purchase of X amount without any expertise, and they represent themselves to save a couple of dollars. And with that large of a purchase, somebody really needs to be on their side from this big perspective, looking at it and helping them out, because like we can't have the most important purchase of your life, where there's all these things open, and it would just create lawsuit after lawsuit because people be unrepresented. They'd be like, oh, you didn't tell me this, and I didn't know that. And then there's a burden put on the seller to disclose even more and to show things and like to educate the seller, because educate the buyer, because the buyer would be like, I didn't know anything. And they're just going to be claiming like ignorance. So all of a sudden you'll be like an ignorant buyer, but yet always suing the seller for everything. And it's going to create just like problem after problem and lawsuits. And then they're going to be like, I'm going to sue the bank too. And then the bank's getting sued way more often. Then the bank's like, whoa, I can't be getting sued. I need to raise interest rates and not lend to people that are going to sue me. So then it like totally stops the movement of all homes. And then they're like, fine, don't finance it. Pay cash for it, sucker. And then people are like, whoa, I can't do that. And then the whole economy falls apart and everyone lives in a bunker. Maybe I went too far. Anyways, it's 9 o'clock. Let's get out of here. Reminder, agent meeting at 10 o'clock today, 10 sharp, Zoom meeting with Stacey. Megan's going to be hosting it. Kelly Milligan will be going ahead and performing today. And yes, I said performing because he's that good of a speaker that you're going to be really impressed with him. I challenge you guys to become as good of a speaker or presenter as Kelly Milligan is someday. It's like kind of a goal. Just to get that good. He can just sit there and talk. And he'll never say, he'll never stutter. He just like goes. And he just has this cadence. It's really impressive. Anyways, you'll be captivated, and then you'll get to hear Cody as well. We'll have TNT tomorrow. Shana will be back here, and we'll be sitting here discussing more stuff with you, getting more learning on. See you guys at 10.
woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, I know this'll be the day